Are pedestrians required to obey traffic laws? Or in a more general sense, are people walking around required to obey the rules of the road? Short answer is probably depends on whether or not they're actually on the road. Obviously pedestrians walking on the sidewalk are not going to be governed by traffic laws. But the second you enter into a street, you absolutely are responsible to follow and obey traffic control devices. So if you're crossing the street, you need to cross with the signal. If you choose to cross against the signal, you're really rolling the dice and it's going to be used against you if you're hit. Now, in a general sense, I'll tell you this, motor vehicle drivers have an obligation to always be on the lookout for pedestrians. So if a motor vehicle driver hits a pedestrian, we're almost always able to attribute either 100% liability on that vehicle or at least a heavy degree of what we call comparative fault on that vehicle. The problem is if you're a pedestrian and you're not crossing the street properly in a marked crosswalk, or you're not crossing with the signal, or you're in some other way not following the rules of the road, that can be used against you and comparative fault can be placed on you. The reason comparative fault is so important in the state of Florida, if your case is worth $100,000, but it's determined that you're 50% at fault for the incident itself because you didn't cross with a signal or you just darted out in the street, then that $100,000 ultimately is reduced by the percentage of fault you're at. So if you're 50% at fault and your case is worth 100, then bam, now it's worth 50,000. So that's sort of a loose explanation of how it works. In general, pedestrians from a legal standpoint are required to obey the rules of the road when they're using the roads. And from a common sense standpoint, you have to anticipate that drivers are going to do crazy things and just know the rules are there for a purpose to protect you. So if you have any questions, chat with us through our website at trialpro.com or call us anytime, day or night at 1-800-TRIALPRO.